Hey guys, welcome to Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs. It's time to talk about that Music City Bowl victory for Mizzou. Before we get into that, please guys go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Spotify. Well, Mizzou has win number 10, and it feels like, as always, it's Missouri in dramatic last-minute fashion. Let's start with Brady Cook. The final statistics don't tell the whole story. The 18 out of 32, not that impressive. Keep in mind, I can think of at least three drops off the top of my head. He did not get help from his receivers at times. 287 yards, that was big. Maybe his biggest total this season. I'm not sure. It's up there. Two touchdowns and no real dangerous throws as usual. My gosh, the first drive, everything about Missouri's offense looked screwed up. But from there, for most of the rest of the first half, Brady Cook was as good as I've ever seen him. He was all over the place, and he was the offense. Look at Missouri's rushing yards. Brady Cook was the leading rusher with 54 yards. That's after sacks. Nobody else had more than 17 yards. That was Marcus Carroll. Nate Noel had 14 yards. That's insane. If I were to tell you that Marcus Carroll and Nate Noel combined for 31 yards, you're thinking Missouri maybe got a field goal and that's it. It's crazy. But wow. He came back down to earth a little bit. Receivers, my goodness. Theo Weiss out. Marquise Johnson missed some time. Tight end's just a non-factor because that's just what they are without Brett Norfleet. Man, at the end of the game, you saw Tavares Jones. You saw was it Logan Muckey, I think? I don't even know. I don't even know the guy's name. And old Prez Madison was out there. Yeah, it was just emptying the bench just to field an offense at times late in this game. And Brady Cook and the offense, they found a way. That was impressive. This was one where Missouri for stretches felt like they were in complete control, and for stretches felt like they were going to lose by 30 points, which shouldn't be possible against an Iowa offense, right? Ah, the defense, they took some time to figure things out. And for three quarters, it was hit and miss. It really was. They'd stuff a run for 2 yards or less, and then they'd give up a chunk. Kamari Moulton ended up with 90, what is that, 96 yards, 6.9 yards per carry. So, yeah, Kamari Moulton did pretty well. But then the fourth quarter happened, and the Missouri defense, they came to play. They figured it out, and I understand it's Iowa. You can say Iowa's going to Iowa, went full Iowa, whatever. The point is, Missouri's defense in the fourth quarter, the very first play of the fourth quarter, they gave up a first down. From that point on, three and out, three and out, and then the final drive turnover on downs. Iowa did nothing in that fourth quarter. Speaking of, that final play was awesome with just a Corey Flagg with the linebacker bonsai jump over the line of scrimmage, and then Dalen Carnell finishing off the tackle to keep Sullivan from getting the first down. That was an awesome play. That is just fantastic. I'll say this for all that's good, and there's plenty good, special teams, aside from place kicking, is a problem, and I'll get to that in a second. Giving up a 100-yard touchdown on a kick return that's bad enough, no matter who you're playing against or who's returning it. Allowing it to a known commodity like Missouri did, it's just terrible. You can't do that. Dude was leading the country in return yardage, and they kicked it to him. Unless it's unless his heels are on the back line of the end zone, I don't get how you let him get the ball. And after that, they did their best to kick away. So credit them for adjusting. But my gosh, that shouldn't have been something they had to adjust to after giving up a touchdown. Meanwhile, Missouri running the ball out of the middle of the end zone and then getting smoked. Speedy Johnson did twice those first two returns. The, the kicking game, return game, it's all a problem. It's all bad. I don't know what needs to change. If there's a philosophy problem, a coaching problem, if Missouri needs to have more starters out there, I don't know. But they're all terrible. What's not terrible on special teams is Blake Craig. We all knew he had the boot, had the strength, freshman inconsistencies, all that. Man, he did not play like a freshman in this game. 51-yarder to tie that went into the back net, 56-yarder to take the lead that hit the back kind of fence thing. Uh, and they were both pretty straight on. The 51-yarder in particular was almost perfectly down the middle. Missouri at times out Iowa Iowa. What's Iowa known for? You know, running the ball, defense, not turning the ball over, no penalties. Well, the penalties, five for Iowa, six for Mizzou. Whatever. It's about a wash. Iowa had the only turnover of the game. And Missouri, they gave up at the end of the day 297 yards of offense. I don't care who it is. You gave up less than 300, you did all right. So Missouri gets their win number 10, back-to-back 10-win seasons. Not mistaken, that's only the second time that's ever happened after 2007, 2008. So, yeah, statistically, numerically, no matter how you look at it, this is one of the best 10 seasons in Mizzou football history. I know they didn't make the playoff, but go back to, gosh, go back to the Armed Forces Bowl and the Gasparilla Bowl in 2021, 2022, and then say, oh, yeah, 21 wins the next two seasons, 11, then 10. And you take that all day. Absolutely. And now the offseason is here. Missouri's worked on the portal. They've done pretty well. And we'll see what happens. One final note on this football game is that this ACC refereeing crew, uh, I don't know what kind of ball they play in the ACC, but man, any sort of contact was getting flagged. And I don't know if that's just this crew, if the ACC tells their refs to, when in doubt, throw a flag and you can review it. But boy, both targeting calls getting picked up. Neither one of them was particularly close to being targeting, in my opinion. And then you had late hits on the quarterback where potential token shoves, which weren't necessary, but in the spirit of roughing the passer, were not violent hits that were a danger to the quarterback. So I don't know. Both teams had to deal with that silliness, but not a good crew, in my opinion. Let them play ball. Still football. Hey, 10 wins, guys. Enjoy it. Music City Bowl champions. Mizzou did their part repping the SEC, beating a Big Ten team. And there you go. Off on a high note. Brady Cook ends his career on a high note. That's always good from the unquestioned leader of this team. And yeah, this is one that, the fans and the momentum around the program, all that, that's the biggest benefit here. And we'll see how it carries over into the portal season, spring ball, and so forth. Keep it tuned here to Under the Arch Sports. We're going to talk more about St. Louis. We'll recap the season, overall thoughts. We'll have that coming out in the next week or so. Until next time, thank you all for watching.